So, what really makes a cricket batsman a legend? We're going to go beyond just the stats and talk about the players who didn't just play the game, they were the architects who actually shaped it.
Okay, let's just start with a fundamental question. In any sport, what is it that separates the really good players from the true immortals? Is it all about the records they break, or is there, something more going on?
And that's exactly it, because while statistics are a huge part of the story, the true legends, well, they're architects. They build a legacy that goes way beyond the scorecard, one that actually shapes the soul of the game for years and years to come.
All right, first up, the 99.94 standard, redefining possibility. You just can't talk about batting greatness without starting here, with the one player who set a statistical bar so impossibly high, it might never, ever be broken.
It's pretty wild to think that his entire career, his whole legend, can basically be boiled down to a single, almost unbelievable number. It's a figure that shows a level of dominance that cricket had never seen before, and frankly, has never seen since.
And there it is, 99.94, Sir Don Bradman's test batting average. And you have to remember, this wasn't on perfect, manicured pitches. He was doing this on tricky, uncovered wickets, facing down tactics like bodyline, where they were literally bowling at his body just to try and stop him. It's not just a record, it's a statistical miracle.
And this chart really puts that miracle into perspective, doesn't it? I mean, look at that gap. It's not that he was just a little better. He was on a completely different planet, averaging nearly 40 runs more per innings than the next best player of his era. He was in a class all by himself.
But look, greatness isn't just a numbers game. So now we're going to shift gears. We're moving from Bradman's cold, hard precision to a totally different kind of genius. Let's talk about Caribbean fire and flair, the true artists of the game.
You have to start with Sir Garfield Sobers, maybe the greatest all-rounder of all time. And his mastery of the whole game showed in his batting. He was like two players in one. One moment he's a calm, elegant monk, defending perfectly. The next, he's a lion, unleashing this ferocious power. He could do it all, and he batted with a kind of freedom very few have ever had.
This quote, it just says everything about the next guy, Viv Richards. His greatness was his sheer presence. That swagger, that absolute confidence. He could dominate a match with pure intimidation before he even faced a single ball.
And then you have the ultimate artist, Brian Lara. This number right here, 400 not out, is still the highest individual score in the history of Test cricket. It's a masterpiece, not just of skill, but of incredible endurance. And of course, that signature Lara flair. Okay, let's move on to a different kind of architect. We're talking about the players who became more than just batsmen. They became national symbols, icons defined by their incredible longevity, their consistency, and their courage under the most intense pressure.
And for an unbelievable 24 years, Sachin Tendulkar carried the hopes of 1 billion people on his shoulders. Think about that. He started as a teenage kid, evolved into the master of all formats, and finished his journey as a World Cup champion. He adapted and dominated across entire generations of bowlers.
So if one number tells his story, it's this one. 100. 100 international centuries. Nobody scored more. It's the ultimate testament to his skill, his grit, and of course, that absolutely remarkable longevity. And Sachin wasn't alone. You had so many other architects building their own legacies. Guys like Sir Jacques Hobbs, the master, who revolutionized opening the batting. Or Sunil Gavaskar, who had the sheer guts to face the world's scariest bowlers without a modern helmet. Then there's the ruthless aggression of Ponting, the technically perfect accumulation of Jacques Kallis, and the modern intensity of the chase master, Virat Kohli. Every single one a master of their craft.
So all of this brings us to the final and, let's be honest, the most fascinating part of the story. This endless debate. Who really was the greatest? And the more you look at it, the more you realize there's just no single blueprint for greatness.
And this table really shows it, right? You've got all these different architectural styles. Bradman's legacy is a statistical miracle. Lara was the audacious artist. Tendulkar was a monument to endurance. Viv Richards was the king of pure intimidation. And Jacques Kallis, the colossus of consistency. All completely different and yet all undeniably great.
But beyond all the numbers and all the debates, there is one truth that connects every single one of these players. In their prime, they were the heroes. They were the ones that every kid, everywhere, dreamed of being when they picked up a bat.
So we'll leave you with that thought.
The debate about who is the greatest of all time, well, that's going to rage on forever. And that's part of the fun of it. But maybe the better question is this: who was the architect that inspired you?